Okay, welcome to my class. Yeah, this week we will discuss a topic related to writing a review paper. By the end of this session, I'm expecting you have a familiar understanding about review paper and how to write good review paper. The main objective of writing a review paper is to evaluate the existing data or result, which can be done through analysis, modeling, classification, comparison, and summary. Okay, this is how to see or to understand what a review paper is. It's an academic paper that is used by you or by the academic people to understand particular topic of interest. Like if you are studying students' learning behavior, for example, in studying English, and then you need to have a better understanding about this issue. Then you can start by writing a good review paper, because by composing a review paper, actually you have conducted what we call as preliminary research to support your other research, your own research, or your future research. To produce a good review paper, it requires you to conduct proper analysis steps and then modeling, classification. What do you mean by analysis here? Is try to interpret carefully and through academic stage to understand an issue. And also modeling means you try to understand the concept and try to remake into your model that you can understand, and then you can classify. It means you, after reading so many resources, and then you can make classification of the things that you grab from the resources, and then you can make comparison between between two or more studies that have same interests, and you can summarize from two or more resources about the issue. So the review paper provides you with comprehensive perspective on particular issue that you are trying to study in the future, or in your research proposal. Okay, so the purpose of writing a review paper is to assess a particular research question. If you start with a research question and then you want to understand what in it, like, in one research question, it contains maybe some components that you are trying to understand, and then you have to go further by reading sophisticated literature about the component or the aspect you are trying to question by developing a research question. So by having theoretical or practical approach, which provide readers, in this case is you, with in-depth knowledge and state-of-the-art understanding of the research area. So in-depth knowledge here refers to your level of understanding, very strong understanding about the issue or the topic or the area you are trying to study. State of the art, here we will discuss this term in the next slide. Yeah, when you come with an idea of conducting a study, you need to have to see yourself within the research area. It means that, do I make a good contribution to this research area? So what kind of contribution that is significant for this research area? And what kind of research or studies have been reported before you conduct that research that will help you to see your position or the state of the art of your study? Okay, so as a researcher, it is important for us to have comprehensive knowledge to the selected topic of your study, which come from an in-depth reading activities. Yeah, so comprehensive knowledge means you have very wide and deep. It's not only deep, but it's also wide. Yeah, knowledge about the topic. For example, if you want to study about the students' learning behavior in studying vocabulary, and then you need to see what kind of theories, what kind of research report have been produced before you start before studying your research. So it comes from an in-depth reading in you, and then you will come with comprehensive knowledge. Once you have comprehensive knowledge, it means it can be said that you have a very strong capacity to explain the selected topic or the topic you are trying to study. It means you have so much information in your mind, in your brain, about the topic or the research area. Yeah. And then the second thing is you have to have a clear scientific guidance of what has and has not been studied in this research area you are interested. So here you need to have critical reading activities. It means if you have read some references, some previous studies in the same research area, and then you see, oh, I can see the gap between among the theories, among the studies before, and then you can say that I can make a good entrance in this issue if I want to study this research area. So if you want to come with that, critical reading will very necessary for you to see in what way or in which position you will contribute in your future research. And then the other things is you have to have an obvious targeted contribution to the field of interest. It means that, okay, after conducting this research, I can contribute this far to the research interest, to the field of the interest or the research area. It means that as a researcher, you can see your contribution to the field of interest or to the research area that you are trying to engage with. So this needs an ability, what we call as framework analysis. You can grab so many consideration from theories, from research reports, from many resources, and then you try to make a framework of your own study. So framework analysis will help you to give you to state your position that will make your research significance to contribute to the field of interest. And the last thing is you have developed sophisticated academic skills, yeah, such as making a sharp outline of uh, your paper and your ability to paraphrase ideas, yeah, from other people, other experts, and this most importantly, your ability to synthesize ideas or reports from other experts. So these all four things will contribute to your ability to compose the state of the art of your own research. The state of the art is simply understood as how would you contribute in the science, yeah, from your perspective, from your resources, from your proposal of your research, from your ideas and everything. So state of the art is very important for you to understand the state of the art of your own research. Otherwise, you can be it's very hard to see your contribution to the science in your research area. Okay, so this ability is also important for your if in the future you will be a professional or researcher. If you're trying to find funding or research funding, a research grant from any institution or person, they will see your ability to develop the state of the art of your own research, and then they will take that as consideration to give the fund or not to your research. So this is very important issue in conducting a research. And then, some people misunderstood review paper and research paper. They are different. Book review also different things. So review paper here is an activity to evaluate previously published literatures on a specific topic. But on the other hand, research paper discuss the present research findings of an author. So they are very different. You go to only one research article or in a journal, and then you try to read and discuss the present research findings of the author. But it is broader in review paper. You try to see the topic as the main entrance, and you try to read some publication on the specific topic that you are trying to study. And then in terms of content, review paper talk about existing research data. That is review paper. But in research paper, you only try to see the new experimental findings of the paper, and the length longer than a research article. So if you conduct a review paper, it takes longer than you just study a single article. So limit to journal is to be submitted. So that is research paper compared to review paper. I hope you have a clear distinction between the two of different works in academic life. Okay, so why do we write a review? First, we use review as a service to scientific community. For example, if you are an expert in politics and then people try to ask you your perspective about certain phenomena in the politics. For example, in the latest Indonesian political issue, like the issue of making President Jokowi for the third run for his presidency. Some expert from law and politics, they will be questioned by the public. What do you think about this issue? To enable you to give your perspective, actually you write a review. You study some literature and then you start with that question, and then you come with other people's ideas, and you try to challenge the ideas, and then you come with your perspective, your academic perspective on that issue. It means you try to serve for the community, and then the progress of science depends on the development of consensus version of current scientific truth. So this is a thing related to the consensus. Consensus here refers to agreement among the scientists. Yeah. So you try to see the agreement, disagreement, maybe contradiction or similarities supporting each other, and so on. Maybe like a parallel or paradox and everything. You try to see based on their thoughts and research. And then a review, it clarifies the state of knowledge, explain apparent contradiction, identify needed research, and even create a consensus where none existed before. So writing a review paper, you try to grab many people's ideas and try to classify their ideas, and then you understand, oh, I can understand this group of people, they are saying the same things like this, and the other group saying different things, and then you try to compare the difference between the two groups. So in that sense, you are trying to make two group of consensus. Yeah. This is the ability of scientists, like to review people's ideas and try to classify and try to relate among them, so you can make different, like school of thoughts maybe, or group of thoughts maybe. Okay, and it can also help you to advance your career because it tends to be highly cited, and it shows that you have mastered a topic that may be important to your organization or your client. Okay, next, who should write a review? The ideal review writers are users of data rather than generators of the data. They are likely to have practical view of the issues and to be less biased. Here, it is highly suggested uh, who to write a review papers are user of the data, yeah. Not the generator means the collector and then the analyst of the data, but who need the data. If you need the data, you need to enhance yourself, yeah, with a strong theoretical review. So, and how should review be used? Review should not be used as substitute for reading the original research papers that are important to your own work. It is particularly bad practice to cite a paper based on the description of it in a review. By all means, uh, take advantage of reviews, but do not consider them to be the final authority. So here we have to understand that review is a perspective. Okay, so sometimes perspective cannot be used as the main resources or main consideration to believe in one thing, because other people may have different perspective. Yeah. So by reading a review paper, it doesn't means you have to ignore to read the real resources or the real paper cited in the review, because we don't know how the author of the paper has strong or good interpretation of other people's ideas. So here it is highly suggested, even you are writing a review paper, it is highly suggested for you to track the article and try by yourself to read the article, so you can have your own perspective of the resources used by the author of review papers. So by knowing this, it is very wise for you to use review paper as your starting point to understand an issue. Okay, but if you are the one who are trying to develop a review paper will be your summary of references or resources related to your study. Okay, and upgrading review. So unlike original research, most review papers we don't really use defined method. We only use library research, yeah, as as the as the technique of collecting the data. And also you it means that you use the secondary data and then you try to understand. Even you don't see the original data sometimes, you just read the finding and the discussion of a study, of a previous study, and then you come with your perspective based on the reports, not based on the data. So I believe that they would benefit from clearer definition and description of the methods used to search the literature, okay, library research, identify relevant publications, okay, ability to seek or to find uh, reputable publication, extract information, okay, taking information from the sources and generate conclusion, okay. So you make conclusion based on those activities like searching the literature, identify relevant publication, extract information from the articles or the source, and generate conclusion based on your reading. Okay, the sample format, like title, abstract keywords, and you can put introduction. You can put various topics to discuss the critical issues, and conclusion and future perspective, acknowledgement and references. So, okay, some students ask me, can you help me to make the outline of my review paper? No, I cannot do that because why? Because the one who read the most resources related to the topic is yourself, not me. So I cannot help you with that very serious activity to make an outline of your review paper. You read yourself, and you will understand how to classify the issue, and then you will come with the outline of your review paper. So very important for you to have the skills of reading, in-depth reading, and your critical reading. And then the other things I have told you earlier is your ability to have a framework analysis. Okay, those are the most important things in writing this. Okay, I think this is so clear, yeah, to understand review paper. So after following this session, I you have to go for the small project like this. Okay, go find articles that share the same topic. Yeah, for instance, the use of songs in teaching vocabulary, for example, and then you try to find 5 articles, and then try to read the abstract section of each article. After that, you have to provide your own conclusion based on reading the abstract. Okay, this is only initial practice. This is not the way a review paper is made, but I want you to make to train yourself about how to understand the initial stage of writing a review paper by reading the abstract and try to relate the abstract of each article, and then it provide me information of what can you say about the 5 articles after reading the abstracts of the 5 articles. Okay, thank you. That will be the mini project for this session. So see you next in the next session. I hope this session is helping you to understand review paper, because a review paper is very relevant for your future research. It will help you to compose a proper chapter 2 or review of related literature in your future study. Okay, thank you. Have a good time. See you next time. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.